2 hours of domination continues so fast that I didn't even have time to change my background. We'll get to that in a second. Welcome in, everybody, to the fastest-growing show in all of pro wrestling. And on Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we are live right here on Stadium, on Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on. We love being a part of this family. But we didn't grow this brand by myself. Oh, no, 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 no. My partner, my good friend, at times my nemesis, who my beautiful daughter who's standing right now says, I love Vince Russo. Love you, sweetheart. Hear her? See what she said? Yes. See?
Yes.
She does. Love you, sweetheart. See you later. She's training for 9 to 5, by the way, Vince. She has the lead in 9 to 5.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Your kids are real blessed, man. You are a blessed dad, bro.
No doubt. I'm so lucky. Real quick, while I change my background, Vince, you got to tell the good people. We had opening day last night, but as a fan, give me 20 seconds of your team getting blanked 7-0. What was your reaction?
Giants suck. Like, absolutely suck. Absolutely crapped the bed. Just a pitiful game. But I also have some other takes on the game that I'm sure Coach and I will get into.
Yeah, let's get into it right now because we've got 60 minutes here on the Stadium Network. By the way, I come in. You know what's cool, Vince, about Thursdays is that I come into the show and the chat is already going.
That's awesome.
They're already going. They're here waiting for us, which I was kind of thinking yesterday. I don't get in my feelings very often, but this week's been an incredible week with the Fluffy show and the So Fight. I'm kind of reinvigorated on building what we're doing. We're thinking about going out on a mini tour this year. And I really thought yesterday about where we've come in less than a year and a half and how we, with sticking to our guns, of being truthful, of being transparent, of giving our credibility, I think we've kind of shifted how people originally thought of the show. And I got a little emotional yesterday, to be honest with you. It really did. And then I thought about you and your baseball. I was like, we bring everything together here on the show. We really do.
Listen, I was very excited too until about 6 o'clock Mountain Time yesterday. then everything really took a turn for the worse. But I will say this. Yep. Yeah, we got a lot going on. And man, listen, man, baseball fans out there listening to this show, guys, you know opening day is one of the best days of the year, and that is today. I've got my fantasy baseball lineup ready to go, bro. We got games coast to coast today. One of the greatest days of every single year, Coach.
Every team says, this could be my
year. This is
Everybody's in first place.
Except the Rockies.
Except for the Rockies. But I'm going to come to Colorado and go to a game with you this year.
Great experience. I got to say that, man. Coors Field, a magnificent park, great experience. The team just stinks.
So real quick last night, and we talk about Netflix a lot because they're knee deep into the wrestling world, and now they're knee deep into the MMA world. But the biggest thing, Vince, is they're knee deep into the live event world. And as we talk about cross promoting and the decisions that they make to bring in the biggest audience, we call it the casuals. Well, last night on opening day, a day that is revered, they spent a lot of money to get that game by itself. And then they added Jameis Winston, who I find highly entertaining, but it almost felt like they were trying to do too much. And the Usos, and I think more than just the Usos, were there. And I don't know if WWE always mixes with every sport. Does that make sense?
Yeah, bro, this was really kabuki-ish because there was another shot of the Usos. And is this what you're talking about? The other shot? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, because that's Jimmy, or is that Jay? I always get them confused. Look at the woman sitting next to I think that's Fatu, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. They've got you. First of all, bro, Jay Uso, the Giants are totally sucking the bed, like just shitting the bed, absolutely sucking. Bro, it's the 8th inning. They're down 7-0. They've got 2 hits, and freaking Jey Uso is talking about a rally? Bro, was this your first game, bro? There ain't no rally coming today, Jay. Sorry, brother. This team sucks. This game was over in the 2nd inning. There's nobody rallying. But what was really weird to me, bro, is Jacob Fatu, who, let's face it, right now is probably a bigger star than the other 2.
I agree.
Is not identified, is not said by name. He was just sitting there. Bro, I think he had on another shot in the show, the same red sweatshirt that he freaking wore on Raw. And I'm like, what is going on here, man?
This has always been my issue with cross branding. When I was at ESPN and I started this, Vince, like me and my 4 members of my team. And the one thing I always preach to everybody, if we're going to do it, you can't assume that your collaborator is going to know. But Vince, if Netflix didn't have Monday Night Raw, I would give them an excuse. But this is also a different production team doing the baseball game. It's not obviously the same one doing wrestling, but you got to think they're talking to each other, because Vince, clearly the producer, the director, had no clue who Jacob Fatu was. That lady sitting next to him had a bigger clue who Jacob Fatu was. And to me, if you're going to do it, you've got to act like, hey, these are buddies of ours. These are our guys that we wanted to come to the game because they're our friends. That's what you have to come off as, and not just. And this is the other part with superstars, Vince. Most of them aren't sports fans. And you got to find baseball fans.
Yes, Coach, that's what I put it. That's what I put it on. I put it on the PR team at the WWE. I told you, Damian Priest. Damian Priest has been a Yankee fan since birth. Very well spoken. Knows the Yankee history. They put him up in the booth last year. The guy was phenomenal. Bro, know your roster. Know who are the true baseball fans, who are going to be the most excited, who are going to come across like they know a little something about the game. I put that on the WWE PR team.
You know what else I put on the WWE PR team? Guess who went in through a wall on a construction site from 10 feet up last Friday night on SmackDown? Jacob Fatu with Drew McIntyre.
You're right.
What are we doing?
I
He's
know,
in
man.
the hospital right now, not having Cracker Jacks at the Giants game.
Yeah, bro, I got to tell you this too about the broadcast in general. Man, bro, Barry was bad. I was Listen, guys, I'm a Barry Bonds fan. Just so you guys know, I'm not a homer or I don't hate. He was awful, man. I was starting to cringe because every time Barry spoke, he was making it about himself. And that came across. Bro, people don't like Barry to begin with. I'll go further than that. People hate Barry Bonds. And this was really a platform for him to kind of come across and show a different side. Bro, he kept making everything about himself, and I kept cringing like, Barry, like, what are we doing here? You got to understand the situation. You've got to try to win these people over. He was doing the opposite, Coach.
And this, again, is on people that aren't normally doing these broadcasts.
Yes.
And this is another point, is if you're going to have a brand new broadcaster who's never done it before, and we all know is hated, you got to sit him down, and this is where I put it on the producer. But there's a lot of new people that they're hiring, Vince. They bring over like Elle Duncan from ESPN as a host. She has a lot of experience. It was a good hire. But a lot of the other hires are, let's try it out. Let's try them out. Is this going to be a one-off? Is we going to bring him back? And so the Barry Bonds, it made a lot of sense. But, Vince, you can't treat it like, well, he's only going to be here one time. You got to treat it like, let's try to coach him to where he could be a guy that could work with us all the time. You got to sit him down and say, Barry, we got to cut through the ego.
Yeah, man. 1,000%, coach. And a lot. I don't think a lot of people, wrestling as well, and here's where we'll tie it in, coach.
Yep.
I don't think people really understand the importance of producers, especially in wrestling. That's why a lot of times you and I are really, really hard on the producers because somebody let this get through to TV. That's the producer. And yes, I agree with you. I mean, Bonds, I don't think he was produced well last night. I would be shocked if they had him on again.
A lot of times we have in the business, it's street slang, jock sniffers. And when you have, and WWE had a guy, I'm not going to say his name, years ago when they were doing the Fox deal, that was a high level executive, but he loved being around the guys.
Yeah.
And when you're a high level executive that loves being around the guys, that can come off kind of weird. And when you're a producer that loves being around the guys, and I don't know who the producer was last night, it can sometimes be, oh my God, Jacob Fatu's here. The Usos are here. I'm big fans of yours. Just do what you do. Just do what you do. Instead of, this is not your world. Yes, it's live TV, but we need you when we come down to hit on these different things. We've got to put over Monday Night Raw as you're cutting a promo. That's why you are here. And I've said this for a while. They put the Usos on ESPN, Vince, a couple of weeks ago when they were promoting the Chamber a lot. And there are certain talent, Vince, and I'm just going to be very polite about this, that should not be on live TV outside of the show ever. Ever. Because they don't make the WWE look good. And I think the Usos, as much as I love them and respect them, I don't think they're great live outside of the show.
And, you know, Coach, it's funny that you say that because I can remember when Drew McIntyre, I think it was during COVID, I think when Drew was the champion, they had Drew on MLB Network, and he was great. He was produced. He knew what he was talking about. He knew the topics. He had an opinion for everything. But man, you know, Coach, again, not a lot of people are going to talk about this morning, but it is very important who you choose for those spots.
1,000%. And these are some of the things that we talk about, guys, here on the show all the time. Details, continuity, and as much as it's a show, yes, it's a show, Vince, but a lot of people think those things are real, or they think, okay, who is this guy? And Jacob Fatu is a great choice if he hadn't just damn near killed himself on SmackDown last week. How that doesn't get through, if you're a PR guy, how you're not looking at the show saying, hey, guys, should we make a change? Should we pivot? Those things have got to be talked about.
I'll tell you exactly. What happened, Coach, because, you know, again, you're talking about lack of communication. This spot was booked, you know, like months ago, probably with Netflix, probably months ago. I guarantee you the person knowing Fatu was going to be there, I guarantee you their own people aren't watching the show. I guarantee you.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I guarantee you the PR guy did not watch SmackDown and did not see that.
Wow.
I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt. Listen, man, we got a big JCW event coming up WrestleMania weekend. And like I did something with one of their tag teams on one of our shows, and they really shouldn't be at the pay-per-view. I know this because I watched the show and I know they're booked for the pay-per-view. This guy may have known Fatu was going to the show and probably is probably not a wrestling fan. He probably does not watch these shows at all.
That's when the phone call comes in. And if Vince was still in charge, because you know one thing here at the show, WWVD, Vince would have had that hammered down, and somebody would have got caught for that. All right, we're just getting started. Plenty more to come here on the show. On the other side, wait until I tell you what AEW decided they needed to do to hide a big-time superstar recently. And Brock is talking about coming back. Also, how much would you pay to make pasta with an unnamed WWE superstar? All that still to come. This is 2 hours of domination. The Coach and Bro Show live right here on the Stadium Network. All right, you crazy kids. Here's what we do on the Coach and Bro Show. Keep those super stickers coming. We'll get to them during the breaks, and also we'll do everything at the end of the show. So we want as many as possible. 5 will talk. 10 get on the Brolette wheel. We do the Brolette wheel at the end of the show. Vince, Catman 580, the very first one. Nice little $14 super sticker. I have a conspiracy theory. Vince, cue the sound, please.
Hold on, I got to find it. Hold on.
Oh, yes, Coach. Vince has been lying to you. It was him that Randy Orton was talking to on the phone. He's planning a WWE comeback at WrestleMania. Boy, that'd be something, Vince.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening anytime soon, Coach.
I wonder what the wrestling odds would be on that, of Vince Russo making a return as the voice on the phone.
Yes.
Holy crap.
God.
Oh. All right. Kadipchin, not trying to start anything, but did you see Matt Coon's post calling JD a joke? And, yeah, and that's why Matt's watching our show, and our show is crushing anything that he does. So he can write whatever he wants. It just helps the show.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of JD. Big fan of JD.
Thank you. And he's a part of our family now.
Yes.
So, and by the way, that whole racist thing, it wasn't. It's just how people interpret it, and they run with it. So you can't believe headlines. He's a good dude. Dante, did you guys see people getting behind Leo Rush? What's your advice for inserting wrestlers who get over on their own? It's interesting. I don't know if you've seen this, Vince, but his numbers on IG are like in the millions, but he was on Collision on the weekends after the basketball. He's got this new character. I don't know if you've seen like the weird eyes, and it's getting over. It's getting over.
Good for him. He's a good little talent. I remember seeing he was the one with Bobby Lashley very early on, a bumping fool, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
he was the bumping guy.
Yeah.
And this means Tony Khan will absolutely kill his character.
Absolutely, yes.
He's going to kill the gimmick.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to plenty more coming up in our second and third breaks. So keep those super stickers and those questions coming. They really help the show grow. Also, we've got something I'm going to announce coming up right now. So we're going to be back on the Stadium Network. Count it down with me. 8, 7, 6. We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It's the Coach and Bro Show here live on the Stadium Network. If you want to watch on YouTube, you can. You can be completely interactive. You can send us a super sticker. We'll answer your question at the breaks or at the end of the show. Also, if you're watching on Stadium and you want a new piece of our merch from our brand new merch store, you got to get on YouTube. You can give us a super sticker, and you can get on the Coach and Brolette wheel at the end of the show. So, Vince, people say we don't talk about AEW enough. So I have an AEW topic for you. And this one kind of made me laugh because in the last week, we try our best, do we not, to support Tony Khan, support AEW, but sometimes they make it very difficult on us. Forever! I've played that 1,000 times. Forever!
I love it.
All right. So, Vince, Ronda Rousey recently made an appearance at AEW, and she's been doing a lot of press, a lot of podcasts because she's promoting her fight on Netflix coming up in May. And she said openly that showing up at AEW was a shot at TKO. I like that she can be honest. But Vince, did you hear, and maybe you can fill in the audience, on what Tony Khan felt they needed to do in order to keep the surprise?
Coach, you got to know the backstory first. Guys, years ago, they showed backstage footage of Adam Cole was returning to AEW after a long absence because of an injury. And they literally showed backstage Adam Cole showing up in a car. They immediately put him in a wheelchair and covered him with a black blanket and wheeled him throughout the back. They showed that. I saw this. So I'm like, bro, that is the stupidest, most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. All my years in wrestling, we had hundreds of surprises. We never, ever did that. Then I'm doing a show with Al Snow this morning, and I am smartened up.
Oh, no.
Coach,
oh, no.
They did that to Ronda Rousey. they sat Ronda Rousey in a wheelchair and covered her with a tarp and rolled her around the back. Two things I want to address real quick, and I don't want to hog the show. I got to address two things.
No, it's all yours. I'm thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, number one, at what point does Ronda Rousey say, "Are you out of your effing mind, bro? I'm freaking Ronda Rousey. I'm not some wrestling mark." That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Number two, this is your typical case, Coach, and we use this phrase a lot. We're going to educate our audience. You'll never hear this anywhere else. This is a typical, you're Kayfabing yourself. Why wouldn't you want them to know Ronda Rousey is going to be on the show? Then guess what? You might get people to tune into the show. That's called Kayfabing yourself. They wanted Ronda to be this big surprise. Why? Why, bro? Advertise she's going to be on the show. Don't hide her. Get it out there in social media. Oh, my God. Ronda Rousey's going to be on AEW. And guess what? Maybe you'll have some more people watching the show. So all around, bro, this was absolutely ridiculous.
Whoa. You need to stop right there, Vince Russo. Are you trying to tell me that Ronda Rousey could have sold more pay-per-views for the company to make more money for the company? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
This is Tony Khan being a wrestling mark. He's not thinking business at all. He's thinking, we can't let Meltzer find out that Ronda Rousey's here. You are a mark, bro. You are a mark, and because you are a mark, you are costing your company thousands and millions of dollars.
Here's how it should have been done, because Ronda in the last 3 weeks has been like the number one trending thing in all of MMA because of her comeback. And there's been a lot of people that have been comparing that card to any card the UFC has done. So she's been the number one name. I don't give a damn if it's been 10 years since she left the UFC. She is still a star. You can, hell, Vince, when you bring up any name in wrestling that's a star, they're still a star 10 years later. But where it would have been cool would have been Ronda Rousey showing up at AEW. And then you can still make her the heel by saying, whatever, however you sell it. Last time she was here, why would she want to show up at AEW? Why would, and you make it about the storyline of why she's trending right now. And then the casual is like, shit, what is she going to say? What is she going to do? Now, she didn't do very much. She kind of pointed and that was it. But Vince, I could not agree with you more, because I think sometimes Tony Khan feels like, oh, this is WrestleMania every time. And when you talk about WWE surprises, they're established. They're there. You're trying to build your audience. What doesn't he get about that?
Could you imagine, Coach, the day Mike Tyson showed up and Vince saying, "Hey, Mike, listen, man, you got to sit in this wheelchair and we're going to cover you with this black tarp and we're going to push you." Can you imagine telling that to a Mike Tyson?
Oh my God.
What is this dude thinking, man? Stop being a fool, Tony. Like, bro, I defend you all the time. This is foolish, man. This is just being a fool, man.
Let's say because we're always trying to educate our audience. Let's say he wants to go with the surprise and you can't talk him out of it. Here's what we would have done in the WWE. You're talking about a building. And was it it doesn't matter, Intuit-Dome or Crypto. Was it Crypto or Intuit-Dome? Either one. There are hotels within a mile, within blocks of both arenas. And so if you really want to keep the surprise, instead of doing that with a tarp, you put them in a hotel room. Because guess what? If you're not announcing her, Vince, she's been in LA several times to announce the Netflix card, which is going to be at the Intuit-Dome in May. So it would make all the sense in the world for her to be at a hotel in LA if you want to go that far. If you really feel like you need to do it, you could put her in a hotel and then just drive her over 30 minutes before, and all the fans are in the building. They're not paying attention to somebody coming in the back. That's what you should have done if you wanted to do that.
So let me give you option C. Okay. Can we not throw a wrestling mask on her? Like, do we have to cover this woman with a tarp and a wheelchair? Can we not put a Rey Mysterio mask on her and let her walk around the back, for goodness sakes?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm finding it very, very hard to continue to defend him when it's almost like he's playing a caricature of himself.
Yes.
Like he says,
yes,
this is what a CEO in wrestling, this is what I watched showing up or growing up. So this is who I'm going to be now. And I want to be buddies with all my guys. You tell us all the time. You tell our entire audience, you can't be friends with your talent.
Absolutely
and the other
not.
night, they had a stipulation, Vince, where in the main event, Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega, one of the stipulations on the line was the EVP status of Kenny Omega. And you're like, why would that be a believable stipulation when we know that those are just titles to make more money? Why would they do that? But this is what Tony does.
Yeah.
He thinks that's, oh my God, they're fighting to be an executive vice president of my company.
Yeah.
But he doesn't listen to anybody. We know that.
Well, let's face it too, Coach. I mean, when you're a billionaire, you're not a normal guy. And you're not thinking like every man. You're just not. And that's what you really need to do in wrestling when you're coming from a management or a creative place. You need to think like every man. You need to think like that casual fan. And Tony does not have the ability to do that.
He doesn't. And I think that's going to ultimately be their downfall because, Vince, they had 700,000 people watch Dynamite last Wednesday. Okay, so you had over 200,000 people that somehow said, I've got to watch AEW tonight because maybe they got a lot of attention from their pay-per-view. And, Vince, you've got to know that you need to make that show an absolute banger for everybody because those 200,000 people, guess what they're not? They're not AEW sickos. Yep. They're not the ones that tune in every single week. And the other thing that he showed, I mean, it's like a billboard. I don't understand TV and promotion. When you have two nights, Saturday and Sunday, that special collision comes on right after the NCAA tournament. Vince, record numbers this year watching the tournament. Record numbers. And you're coming on right after the latest game. Yeah. Why would you not book it that way?
Yeah, it's halftime heat. When we decided when we rocking Mankind and that was the empty arena match. I mean, that's what you need to do. This is not a regular show. This is a very, very special show. You got an opportunity to get millions, thousands of new fans. And again, just another missed opportunity.
And they say it's funny because both places are living in denial in two completely different ways.
Right.
WWE is like, we're going to get whatever we give them. They're going to take it because we're the WWE. Tony Khan and AEW, they've got their blinders on and they say, this is who we are. We're not changing for anybody for any night. And when you're on TBS, though, you have to, Vince. We always did based off of where we were, when we were, what we were, because that's an opportunity to what? Say it with me, kids. Grow. Yeah. And it's almost like, Vince, they're sitting in these meetings and every decision they make is to not grow.
Well, because here's what it goes back to, Coach. There is no reason for either company to grow. The WWE already has their money and they've cashed the checks. No matter how many people watch the show, Tony Khan is a billionaire. So you've got two cases where priority is not growth. It is not.
It's not. It's not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have so coming up after the break, we have some breaking news coming out of the WWE. And once again, very confusing. We'll discuss that. But also, I put my crack staff on a deep dive to see if there's any video footage or any photographic footage of this incredibly secretive situation going on with AEW. And I believe, Vince, that we have some proof. And we're going to show it after the break. You want to stay tuned for that. All right, this is the Coach and Bro Show. 2 hours of domination right here on the Stadium Network, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. Come on back. All right, you degenerates, we continue on here on our YouTube page. Keep those super stickers coming in. We're only halfway home. Vince, CJ, you got a spot on the wheel, says, for my family of 5, this trip is $9K. Flights, hotel tickets to WrestleMania, lower bowl, Raw and WWE World. It keeps getting harder, but as my daughters get older, it's still the one thing as a family we bond over. I feel bad reading those, Vince. I really, really do. $9,000. And I've been hearing, Vince, at the hotels, they have sensors on these things now. So if you walk in and like you touch a peanut, they charge you for that. A restocking fee because they can't use it anymore. I mean, this is banana land. So when these people are coming, and we're going to talk about it in the next segment, that it's almost like people are spending money on experiences over tickets to the show. And Vince, I'm going to ask you in a couple seconds why you think that is. So we'll get into that. But 9,000?
Yeah, bro, with all due respect, man, you know me. I love family. I love family time. Coaches the same way. Brother, bond over something else, man. Seriously, you guys can bond over something else that's a lot less expensive than that, man.
I would promise you, and I know that CJ, you want to take your families. There is, and it's not because Vince is here. There's JCW, there's TNA, hell, even AEW. If you really want to go to a wrestling show, I was a part of 16 or 17 WrestleManias. It is amazing. But if you've already done it once or twice, you can still have a lot of fun doing something else with your kids. To Vince's point, it's about the togetherness of you and your daughters.
Yes.
I just went last Saturday to the big fluffy show, and it was one of the best nights of my life as a dad.
Yeah.
Because I took my 2 kids, and they don't like comedy, and I wanted to leave early. They're like, "No, Dad, we're staying all the way to the end."
Yeah.
What teenagers want to do that?
Yeah.
None. So Vince is right. Just bond on something else. And we're not saying you can do whatever you want. And we love that you're here. But we're also All right, we're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. If you're watching us live on the Stadium Network, I am the coach. This is Coach and Bro. We are live every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Rolling through a lot of different topics here. If you're looking for a breakdown of Raw or SmackDown, you've come to the wrong show. If you're looking to learn about the business, bigger topics, you've come to the right show. All right, Vince. So I sent our crack staff on a deep dive because I was like, they've got to have cameras. They've got to have something backstage in LA last weekend. And guess what? We found the footage. So producer man, if you don't mind, Vince, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Come
Hands
on.
on.
This AI is ridiculous, but the greatest invention I've ever witnessed in my life. I love this stuff. I love this stuff.
Can you imagine?
I may do some on JCW where we're wheeling somebody around in the back in a wheelchair and a tarp, and we never reveal who it is, Coach. We go years and years and years and never reveal who it is.
Oh my God. Why would you want to do a WWE storyline? All right, we've got another. I don't get you to pop on that one? That they never fall through on this storyline. Also, after this, we also got footage, Vince, of Ronda and Tony going over the spot. And I believe we have that one here as well. Oh, yes, here it is. Here it is, Vince. She is now a luchador.
I love
She's a part of AAA, or CMLL.
I love it. I love it.
And also, I believe we have footage of where WWE is probably a little jealous. Yes. So the black hoodie, with the black hoodie. That's yeah, we're taking WWE. They've only done this 21 times. 21 times. The black hoodie. Vince, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, let's switch gears here. And right now, we are monitoring every single show because not anymore. because you guys have been smartened up. But for several months, we were called the haters. We were called the ones, me and Vince, that we didn't know what was going on, that WrestleMania is going to sell out no matter what. Well, Vince, we're having some issues because right now, for each night, there's well over 60,000 seats available. They still have 37,000 sold, and they cannot move a ticket. 2 days ago, they put 25% off all the tickets, also experiences at WWE World. Vince, when you put 25% off, what do you think the people who have already paid top freaking dollar are going to do in reaction to that news coming out 2 days ago?
Well, how are these people going to feel, Coach, when 2 days prior to the event we're paper in the house? Can you imagine papering WrestleMania? Can you imagine standing out on the streets giving away free tickets for people to go to WrestleMania? You know they're going to do that, bro. They're not going to show those empty seats. Can you imagine when they get to that point, Coach?
I want you all to understand exactly why it feels like we're gloating. We're not, because I don't like them to be embarrassed. And I'm talking about the talent and the boys and the girls. That's who I'm thinking about. But we've been saying this for months. If you don't properly price tickets and your content is not as hot as what you think it is. And Vince, for months, we said, well, if people keep buying the tickets, they're going to keep upping the price. And they did it. And for all these smart people at TKO, they upped the price by 25% and brought it back to the same venue it was a year ago. It doesn't take a brain surgeon or a genius to know that is not going to sell. On top of that, Vince, they've only announced, I think, 7 matches, and Triple H said we're going to have 14. Why would he announce a specific number when they didn't have enough made so far already? So now they're going to throw matches out there to fill that number that have no storylines or no juice whatsoever.
And that's a great point, Coach, because that's exactly what they're going to do. That's filler.
That's filler.
7 matches are Triple H is saying 7 matches are filler. If we don't have those matches by this point in time, then that is filler. Coach, listen, I'm watching highlights of both of these shows. There are 2 things that they're doing, either a brawl or face-to-face promo. That's it. That's the road to WrestleMania. There is not one single story. It's either a brawl or we're going to have a face-to-face promo. That is it. And now you're going to have 7 matches that are going to be nothing but filler, and you're paying how much?
A lot. And a lot of the tickets they have not lowered, but the 25% off, they're hoping you look at the percentage off. And to Vince's point, when he says paper, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when they don't. So what's going to happen is if they have 20,000 empty seats, they put these big black tarps in because you sell the lower bowl first and then you go to the upper deck. And you're going to have in one side of the upper deck because of the way the cameras are. And you're going to have these big black tarps. Vince hated the black tarps because that meant either the product wasn't hot or you mispriced the event. And Vince, they've got these blinders. Oh, no, we're not mispricing. Vince mispriced. We're doing what any business would do. Well, Vince, now they're sitting in a room and they're pissed off and they're yelling at somebody. Who do you think they're yelling at?
Not the 2 new hires that are running creative.
No. Oh, it's got to be Triple H.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, Nick Khan. You guys told us that this was the right price. We didn't do anything wrong. This is what we do because UFC's doing the same thing. They're outpricing. And the other night at their last big arena show, they had thousands of tickets available for that UFC event. Yeah. I don't know where we've got to get to, Vince, but when you talk about filler, the other thing is this. You have Gunther, who you and I have said, what are you going to do with him coming out of John Cena and ending his career? What are you going to do with him ending AJ Styles' career? And then on the other side, one of the guys that's beaten him in the last few years was Sami Zayn. Vince, Sami Zayn, for the first time in a long time, got booed on SmackDown. Guess what? Neither guy right now is in a match or in plans to be a part of WrestleMania. What are we doing?
Yeah, Coach, it is. Man. I was, as I'm getting ready, we have some shows following. We've got a show, JCW WrestleMania weekend, and then we got 3 shows after that. I literally am sitting here now, Coach, and I've been writing for them for about 5 months as I'm plotting this out. Coach, we have too many stories for the shows.
Wow.
That's my dilemma. And I'm looking at the WWE and I'm like, how can you not have one? I'm sitting here in 5 months and I have created all these stories, and now I've got to try to shoehorn all these stories in. And you guys don't have one at the level you're at. I don't even know how that's possible, Coach. I don't.
I think that they really believed, and I can't believe they've done this 4 times, because Vince hated promo segments at the end of the show. Hated that. They've done that 4 times. 4 times. And they're hiding behind, man, another banger. And now Jay is ordering Roman around and thinking that is furthering the storyline, and we still have 3 Mondays left. And they've, to me, kind of blown their wad on that storyline. And then the other one is Cody and Randy. And I think sometimes, Vince, they automatically assume that our fans know the backstory of these rivalries. Right. So we don't need to tell it. When if you tell it, you could have a really entertaining 3 or 4 week run. And now I'm guessing that the fan reaction in the next 3 weeks will be, we've seen that already in February and March. Yeah. Am I right?
No, exactly. That's what a big pay-per-view used to be all about, man. Especially WrestleMania. You're seeing the match for the first time. The anticipation of seeing these Andre and Hulk, the anticipation of that. And again, I dare somebody to go back and count up how many times we've seen Randy and we've seen Cody. Go back and count how many times we've seen it.
I would say a bunch. And this is, I think, as we put a kind of a bow on this right now anyway, is they're writing it as if it's another Raw or if it's any other PLE. AJ Styles, remember in the sit down that he did where he said, I wanted to do my stuff here because WrestleMania has lost its luster a little bit. And everybody said, well, he's doing that in character. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think he was being honest. And I think from a talent perspective, Vince, that a lot of the talent look at it and say, if we're going to have 14 matches, it's going to be, I call it the Little League mentality, that everybody gets a match. Everybody gets thrown in instead of, to your point, the culmination of some big storylines with mega stars, and we get to see it. One of the things I used to love to do, Vince, were the sells on, the Friday they would release the pay-per-view sell, and you'd have that 30-minute show that you'd see all over your TV, and I got to do those. And we always did the 3 biggest matches. I also think they need to start thinking about the 2-night WrestleMania, because right now you're building to what? You're building to what?
Yep.
I refuse to call the last match on night 1 anything other than the last match. It's not the main event. You have one main event. One. Yep. And I think you're spot on with the lack of storylines. And now if you're a talent, Vince, and they walk up to you and say, hey, we're going to put you on WrestleMania, are you excited? Or are you like, we've got 3 weeks left. What are we going to do with that?
Yeah, and now, Coach, think about this. With the problem they've had selling tickets for 2 nights, now they're really in a hole because they can't dial it back now. If all of a sudden next year WrestleMania becomes 1 night, it's going to be because you couldn't sell out 2 nights. So they've really put themselves in a very, very bad situation business-wise where I don't think they could go back to 1 night regardless of how many tickets they didn't sell.
I don't either. And that's the problem, is now they've put themselves in a situation where you can't go backwards and you've only sold half your tickets. So now what happens next year? Fans are going to be like, hell, we can wait.
Yep.
Oh, wait, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. So they might have a 1-year reprieve. And then what are they going to say? Well, look, we resold WrestleMania. Yeah, but not here. You didn't. Yeah. Not here. You didn't. All right, coming up on the other side, a couple of random topics. Tonga has reacted to his 5-figure fine.
Oh,
We'll,
interesting.
we'll tell you what he had to say,
Yeah.
and also a few new experiences that are out there for the WWE fans. This is the Coach and Bro Show. We are live right here on the Stadium Network. All right, keep those super stickers coming. Vince Guillermo will be on the wheel. So Chelsea can only work with Michin because Michin is a low-card star, but Michin also looks strong against Jade. Make it make sense. He's right.
Yeah, these fans, the people that listen to this show are so smart. I mean, exactly, man. People, Guillermo, they don't want you to see this. They don't want you to ask that question because when you ask that question, it makes them look stupid.
Completely. Yeah. And also Jade, who you put the world title on you're telling people, well, she's not good enough by herself.
Yeah.
Or maybe her promos are telling that for you. God, she's bad on the mic. All right, we've got a response from CJ. He says, I gave my daughters the option of our annual trip to Orlando or once in a lifetime to WrestleMania. They chose WrestleMania. We watch as a family every week, every episode. All right, so if this is your first time, okay. I was under the understanding, Vince, that this is like a thing they do all the time.
Think about what CJ said here. Should WrestleMania be a once in a lifetime? Coach, I went to WrestleMania 4 and 5 in Atlantic City. Me and my friends doing. Should WrestleMania really be you can only afford to go what? Think about that. Think about that, man.
It shouldn't. But that, to me, half of the people that are going, it should be a once in a lifetime. But then if you want to go more than once, you should be able to do that too.
Exactly. It's like being only able to afford to go see your favorite band once. In my lifetime, I'm only going to go get to see Paul McCartney one time. It shouldn't be that, man.
No, and that's not how you build an audience, which is why we always circle back to, and I had a caller call in yesterday who brought up our show on SiriusXM, and they said, you keep talking about TKO selling, and I'm starting to believe you and Vince now. Yeah. Because of no company moves this way.
Yep.
Unless they're not in it for the long haul.
Yep.
All right, we are back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the Coach and Bro Show. We continue on here at Domination on Thursday. Having a great time. A lot of great storylines continue. Vince, we've got some breaking news. We've got 3 different topics I want to get to. So Tonga, who was fined a high 5 figures for releasing that 10-second video, I'm going to paraphrase here, basically went on a podcast or went on a show, and he said, you know what? And I actually have the quote right here. I'm going to read it to you, Vince. We get hit with something. We just take the hit and keep on moving. Can't let that bring you down. Am I in the doghouse? I've been in the doghouse my whole life. There is no getting out of the doghouse. I move in life like I'm in the doghouse always. This is, I think, a great way of saying, yes, I got fined. I'm not going to bury myself. Your thoughts, Vince? It really is a high 5 figures. And producer man, we must be frozen. Or are you seeing me, Vince? Are you seeing yourself?
No.
All right. Oh, there we go. We were probably frozen there for a second. There we go. I severely disagree with the fine, but I would also not walk in, Vince, and go, but what about Unreal, who, by the way, Vince, got 3 Emmy nominations, which means they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, and good for them. Congratulations. I'm begging them to bring it back, man. That's the best show to get the best information watching that show.
No doubt. And then we don't have to watch the rest of the season sometimes. All right. I don't know how. So some dirt sheets had it 6 figures. Others had it high 5 regardless. It was probably $50,000, I'm guessing. That's still a lot of money for putting a video out. Yeah. We have some other breaking news, Vince. The Hall of Fame is growing. And this is where I get asked all the time, and I'm sure you do also. is, would you accept a nomination into the Hall of Fame? And I say, with all due respect to those who are already in it, there's no brick and mortar, and sometimes they check a box. And here's what I'm talking about. Vince, just moments ago, Bad News Brown was announced as an inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Checking a box. And I like Bad News. Legacy, they put it under all these different legacy. The other day, Dennis Rodman, who, by the way, Vince, was never in the WWE ever, not for 1 second.
He wasn't.
Not for
You're right.
second.
You're right.
No,
yeah.
No. And then they announced yesterday or the day before, Sid Vicious into the WWE. Weren't his best years in WCW?
Yeah, and we're also forgetting something too, guys, because you don't go back as far as I do. I'm 65 years old. I don't forget these things. Guys like Sid and guys like Bad News Brown, bro, they were problems in their own right. They were not good, behavable, do everything the company wants us to do soldiers. Sid used to blow off work, the WWE, to play softball. Sid was one of those guys that you were not going to tell him what to do. Sid was going to do what Sid wanted to do. Bad News Brown, too, had a reputation for not being one of the easiest guys to work with. I just find it comical that now I'm sitting back and, my God, bro, they're really reaching to put people in the Hall of Fame. And the reason why I say that is, if Vince were still there, I don't know if these people would be getting in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I will. They wouldn't be getting into the Hall of Fame. This is oh my. So they brought this back like 2003, 2004, and I remember when you did it, there was like 14 guys, and all of them were somewhat stars. But then we started making it a production, so they had to limit it, Vince, to like 4 or 5 or 6. And I'm like, okay. And I was there when Hogan got it. That was awesome. Sly Stallone. But now, Vince, this has become a. We need to sell tickets. We're doing an event. People will blindly buy them, but we've got to fill out seven or 8 people. When I say check a box, female, diversity, they call it legacy. Let's call it what it is. But Vince, it's starting to drive me insane because there's a lot of people that in the real world of Hall of Fames deserve to brag about being a WWE Hall of Famer. But we have stuff like this. We have people that have gotten in 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. And let's not forget the people behind the scenes. Guys, you don't have to be a ball player to get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. You could be an announcer. You could be an executive. You could be a manager. You could be an owner. You don't have to be a ball player. The people behind the scenes that were so valuable to that company, the Jim Johnsons, the Kevin Dunns, and you carry on like these. Guys, no disrespect to Bad News Brown. He was not more valuable to the WWE than Kevin Dunn. He was not more valuable to the WWE than Jim Johnson. And to overlook all those people, that's the part I don't like about Coach.
I think the only time they've done it, back in 17 or 18 when we took SportsCenter there, Sue Aitchison.
Right.
I think she's the only office person that I can think of that's been inducted. And everybody's like, yeah, because she was amazing. Make-A-Wish, all those. Cena, Rock. The only person on God's green earth that Cena and Rock would not backtalk, Sue Aitchison. And most people don't even know who she is.
Right.
Jim Johnson, if people were wondering, he wrote 90% of the entrance music for the WWE. Kevin Dunn, so he hired me. He hired me. He sat in that chair for 30 years. He was the brains behind the biggest WrestleManias of all time, the biggest production of all time. You don't think he's more valuable than Bad News Brown? Come on. What are we doing? And then finally, we only have a couple minutes left here on Stadium. Of course, we carry on our YouTube page. Vince, they have revealed more experiences because I guess they're going, if we can't sell WrestleMania tickets, we'll make up our money somewhere else. We already talked about the Cody tour bus, right?
It's sold out, by the way.
It's sold out.
Sold out.
What are we doing?
Sold out.
If you bought a seat on that bus, you are a fool. That's what I'm going to say. 12 people have spent, well, maybe person about whatever, $10,000 a person sold out, $120,000 to ride 3 blocks with Cody Rhodes. What are we doing? But Vince, they have the Clash in Italy, and they have just revealed that in Italy, for $11,500 per person, you can make pasta with an unnamed WWE superstar. So they want you to spend over $11,000 and not even tell you the superstar who would show up to do it with you. And Vince, fans need to know that if it's the day of an event, guess who you're not getting? Anybody on that show.
Well, I'm assuming it's Salvatore Bellomo, and I am paying $11,500 to cook dinner with Salvatore Bellomo, Coach. I will tell you that much. Yes.
Oh my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Real quick, we have one other thing we got to get to because Mikey P, who does a great job helping us behind the scenes, he found another photo that he wanted to get into the show.
Bro, so many people dog AI. Oh, it's gonna take people's job. Look at the joy AI has brought us. Come on, man. Tremendous.
And there, Vince, you're actually there. They flew you in to be a part of the experience.
Yes.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if this is what it was? If you showed up and it's Liv Morgan and Dan Housen, Big Pasta Housen. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is just too much. This is just too much. It's TKO. If you're not going to listen to anybody, I don't care if they can afford it. Let's make these experiences affordable. Come on. They're called experiences for a reason, not show up and be thinking about how much did I just spend? And that's what they're doing. Vince, give me 15 seconds. Sell me on JCW tonight.
Yeah, guys, big night tonight, man. We're building to a control issue in JCW. It's going to play out the next couple of weeks. Just go to JCW Lunacy tonight at 7:00 Eastern on YouTube. Brand new episode.
And Vince will be there interacting with you, the fans, as you guys watch it on YouTube and on Facebook. All right, that's going to do it for us on Stadium. Of course, we stay on over on YouTube. Do not forget on our Behind the Turnbuckle page, if you're watching on Stadium, the 2 Count is there. Episode number 2, killing it. The Last Word with Tommy and Gabby. And, of course, all of our content here on the Coach and Bro Show. We'll see you next Thursday live. It's the Coach and Bro Show right here on Stadium. All right, we'll get to all of our super stickers that have come in and the Coach and Brolette wheel. Again, if it's $10, you will get your name on for a chance to win one of our new pieces of merch. Let's go back to CJ. I'm worried with low WrestleMania ticket sales. WWE may stop trying to make this a good show and just take the loss. In your experience, is that a possibility? I don't think they're trying to make it a bad show. They're always trying to make it a good show. But Vince, sometimes it may feel like they've punted, but I just think that they, and I hate to say this, they might not have the ability to make it the banger show we've had in the past.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, CJ, I don't think they're thinking about this like WrestleMania anymore. I don't think they're going out on the limb to make this a great show. A great show takes planning and weeks of booking and story. I don't think they look at it that way anymore, Coach. I really don't.
And here's what I want to compare for you guys to think about this kind of a show. In the old days, it was, what are the surprises? And there was always like 3 or 4. It wasn't just showing a celebrity in the front row who didn't want to be there and would sit there and look miserable. So Vince, last Saturday, I told you went to the Fluffy show, right? Yeah, that was a WrestleMania. 80,000 people. They had 6 months to plan. 6 months to plan. I'm friends with Fluffy. His manager said, do you want me to tell you the surprises? I said, no. I want to just experience it as a fan. So imagine sitting there, Vince, and compare this, guys, to WrestleMania right now. Sitting there, and they do an hour pre-show. 3 of the 5 were kind of new, but it was just basically to get the people in, get their juices flowing a little bit, and get ready. When the show started at 7 o'clock, unadvertised, Jeff Dunham walks out and does 25 minutes. Jeff Dunham is a legend. Jeff Dunham is hilarious. He opened up for Gabe, and Gabe had an entrance with this motorcycle gang with all of the top Latino actors in the world that are on this new hit show. They did a drive into SoFi Stadium to introduce him. So 2 surprises right there. He does his shtick. Then they take a 10-minute break. Vince, this dance troupe comes out called the Jockwabis or whatever, super famous. Joe Coy, the second main eventer, he was one of the dancers. The place went bananas. But right before them, Tiffany Haddish, superstar, walks out, does 25 minutes, unadvertised. Then he does his thing. As part of his stick, Vince, babyface out of the stick. Place goes bananas. Then 2 minutes later, Jamie Foxx, straight out of the stadium. That unadvertised. Vince, that's what WrestleMania is supposed to be, is what I saw last Saturday. And then everybody left there. Nobody. You're walking up and there's like, you're going up 8 flights and everybody's like, man, can you believe that? You know what I didn't hear, Vince? I didn't hear, man, I paid $500 a ticket. I didn't get my money's worth.
Guys, we got to be honest. Again, what Coach just described, I promise you this. All of those people wanted to be a part of the show. Yep. Just like when Austin was there, when Rock was there, when Hogan was there, celebrities wanted to be a part of the show. No disrespect, guys. You think Sylvester Stallone would want to be a part of WrestleMania because CM Punk's on the card? I mean, let's just be honest. It does not have that star appeal anymore of celebrities wanting to be a part of it. In the past, bro, a Tom Brady would have done it for free. Now they're going to have to pay Tom Brady through the ass and convince him to do something.
That's it right there. That's the difference, is now when you're calling these agents, and for most of the time, Vince, when we see a Netflix show, all the celebrities have a connection to Netflix because it's free promotion. But now when you call an agent, before, to your point, they'd been like, damn, we have this great idea for you. Would you like to do this? Money wasn't even discussed.
Yep.
And now it's like, hey, would you like to come? Really? When is it? Where is it? Oh, I got to fly to be, how much? That's how it is now. Yep. Because they haven't elevated the show above everything else.
Exactly.
They haven't. All right, let's keep it going. Lonnie Mead, appreciate the content, fellas. I love being a part of this community and watching it grow. Lonnie, you're a vital part of what we're doing, a vital part. And we appreciate not only the support with the super stickers, but just the messages and the positivity. So thank you, and everybody else as well. Vince, you want to say anything to Lonnie Mead?
Yeah, no, Lonnie, thank you for the support and everybody supporting us and supporting this show. Man, I always say this all the time, bro. If you support us, you support the truth, and you really support honesty. Coach and I, man, we've been through it all, and now we're doing our own thing, and the most important thing to us is just being able to be ourselves, man. That's it.
100%. Vince, what was the name of the new lady who was taking over Monday Night Raw? Do you remember her name?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's like Alexandra, right?
Alexandra something.
Alexandra,
yes.
Yeah. I think maybe this might be her in the chat. If it's a male, I apologize. But Alexandra Oliveira, welcome to our show. And I'm just teasing. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but there it is. I'm sure WWE at this point regrets not having seen his last match at WrestleMania. That could be maybe the only reason for people to look for these tickets, even at these prices. It's not a bad super sticker.
Hey, Coach, I got to ask you a question. Why do you think this has never been done in wrestling? Coach, baseball season starting today. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are always, bro, and you know what's one of the things baseball season, what do they do at the beginning of the year? They look at the schedule, They see when the Rockies are in, and when the A's are in, and when the lesser teams are in, and what do? They're giveaway days, because we got to get people. Nobody's going to come see the Padres and the Rockies. We got to give something away. Bro, the biggest giveaways in sports events are bobbleheads. Like why have they never done that in pro wrestling?
Whoa. Did you really just ask that question?
Yeah.
They already have the money, Vince. I don't care if it's $100, $500, $1,000.
You're right.
That's money they'd have to spend.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, man.
That's it. Now, you know what Fluffy does? You know what Fluffy does?
What?
He does those giveaways at his VIP meet and greet, which is a little bit more expensive, and it pays for itself. So he does it in a way that people are like, oh, shit, you're giving this to me. I paid an extra $30. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
By the way, Joshua, I'm glad that went up there. You just became a premium member. Guys, if you're watching us right now, okay, we've got to build up this premium membership. I'm going to tell you why. In the past, I've given away stuff for free. That is not going to happen this time. Starting next Tuesday, we're going to have at least once a month, maybe a couple of times more than that. We're going to start our nostalgic watch-alongs. We'll call them that. We start with me and Vince, 8 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday, we're watching back WrestleMania 18, The Rock and Hogan. And we're not doing one to test the waters. They're premium only. You guys are special. Vince, how much are you looking forward to that first watch-along?
I really am looking forward to it. And I got to tell you, this is one of the things, Coach, you know how when you're looking forward to something so much and then there's a letdown? I don't think this is going to be a letdown. I think this is going to live up to all the hype of what I've been hearing for years and years and years. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's going to be awesome because from your perspective, I was a part of it. So I was there. I was in it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And then watch along number 2 in April with Big Tommy C is going to be The Undertaker and Mick Foley when he went off the top of the cage. Why? Because Big Tommy C was ringside. He was there. He was feet away when Mick Foley went through the announce table. You don't want to be a part of that? Become a premium member. Do it right now. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be that guy because we're also not going to make it on the free side ever. We're not going to do, we'll do it and then 7 days later like a lot of people do. No. You've got to be a premium to watch any of them. Yeah. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
I think that's very fair. I think it's very. Hey, Coach, I've got on both sides of me in this office, literally, I'm going to guess I got between 150 to 200 bobbleheads in this office. And because I brought it up, one of the bobbleheads now is busting my onions that they want to say hello to you. Oh, a good friend of yours is
there. Of course.
I'll put him on camera and let him say hello to you, Coach.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him. Is that Tiger?
Yeah, Tiger wants to say hello to you. Look how excited he is, Coach. Look how excited he is. Yes.
Hey, that's very similar to the first time that he met me. Very similar. Or maybe it was the reverse of that.
Coach,
I tell you what.
Have you done anything with Tiger?
So I'm really good friends with his old caddy, Joe LaCava. Like, we're really good friends. And back in 15 or 16, when Tiger was finished, we played a lot of golf together because he'd been on the road for 25 years. Mm-hmm. Nonstop, basically. He was with Fred Couples, all these famous people, Dustin Johnson, and then Tiger. So I have a front row seat, and I could ask him anything. Wow. Vince, I tell you, this is a hilarious story. You know, Hootie and the Blowfish is a huge wrestling fan, right? Yep. They became friends with everybody. So Tiger is good friends with Hootie. And so he's coming to play the amphitheater there in Hartford, the one 30,000 seats. So I get my tickets from Hootie, and Joe got his tickets from Tiger. All right, so I'm sitting in the front in our seats, and Dan and Shay, who are big stars now, they weren't back then, they're on, but I wanted to watch them. So I'm sitting in my seats. This lady walks in, and people are coming down asking for autographs, pictures, like a few people, right? And so finally the lady, she goes, "Should I know you?" And I said, no, I said, they think I'm somebody else. It's very awkward. As cocky as I am, it's very awkward. When you're around 30,000 people, they're all looking at you, right?
Yeah.
So I said, no, they think I'm somebody else. She goes, oh my God. She goes, my husband does the same thing. He goes on and on at home about this guy from Sports Center named Coach. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing about Coach. And I look at her and I said, are you effing with me right now? And she goes, excuse me? And I said, are you? And I said the word. I said, are you effing with me right now? And she goes, why would I be effing? I don't know you. And she got very indignant. Yeah. And I said, because I'm the coach. I'm the guy you're talking about. She goes, stop it. I said, who's your husband? And she said, Joe LaCava. And I said, where is he? She goes, well, he's backstage drinking with Hootie and and he was country at that time. Yeah. And so he didn't come to his seat. So I met his wife, and I didn't even know that he was there. How funny is that?
That is a great story.
This guy Coach all the time. Oh, he watches sports all the time. Yeah. All right, WM perspective. We're going to have a big wheel this week, Vince. WrestleMania X7 remains my pick as the greatest pay-per-view of all time. The best build to Mania I've ever seen was WrestleMania 14. I still have fond memories of being incredibly hyped for that show. I was there for 17. My first one, Vince, was 16. And that was in Anaheim, 20 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. What was your first one?
10. And I think my last one may have been 14. Yeah.
Where was 14 at? They all run together for me.
Oh my God, bro. I couldn't even tell you. I'm pretty sure it was Sean in Austin. I think that was the main event at 14. I'm pretty sure.
Do you ever look at certain matches or moments, and either they were before you and it feels like it was 50 years ago, but it's just like 1 or 2 years? Yeah. I look at when I hear like WrestleMania 14, that seems so long ago, but I started at WrestleMania 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's weird. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I went to WrestleMania 4 and 5, and I'm like, what are we on, 42 now?
42.
Crazy, man.
I also think, everything happens for a reason. I believe that. But I believe that, and I've said this to you privately, that this is one of the joys of my career is us hooking up was just random. I reached out to you to do an interview for my new brand. Yeah. I didn't know you from Adam 2 years ago. And who could have known we'd become such great friends and that we would have this, and I think that when I want to complain about the wrestling world, I think about the things that have come out of it.
Yeah.
And I try to focus on those now that I've gotten a little bit older, that time goes faster. it's weird. It goes faster.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy every single day. And this is an absolute joy for me. It really is.
And the like I said, man, the key to that is, Coach, both of us were in a business for a long time where let's just be honest, guys, you had to watch every word you said. Somebody could take something you say the way they want to take it, and then it's game over. That's the one thing about what we do. We don't have to worry about that here, bro. I don't have to worry about, burning a bridge or saying something and so isn't going to hire me. That enables us to be able to be 1,000% honest. Guys, I promise you, if WWE was a good product, I would probably be watching it. But it's no different than any television show. If I start watching it, I started watching The Walking Dead. Walking Dead got to a point where it lost me. It's got nothing to do with a hatred towards it or a bitterness. No, bro, I was a viewer of yours and you lost me. I'm sure, Coach, at some point this season, you probably felt that way about the Chiefs. I know.
Oh, 1,000%. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They lose. It gets to a point where they lose you. And that's the point the WWE got to with me. And like I said, Coach, I've said this all the time. If you want my viewership, that's my time. If you want my time, you got to earn my time, bro. You got to earn my time.
Funny.
Otherwise, my time is not valuable, Coach.
1,000%. And I think that's where they need to literally stop the train for a second. Stop the machine for a second And think about what we're talking about right now, because when the train's going, they automatically assume, and we've said it on this show, oh, it's a WWE, they will simply watch. Oh, it's a WWE, they will simply spend the money. And they're getting to this tipping point where the fans aren't going to do that. It's weird how things work. So I still have Cox cable. So I tape things. So I tape NXT and then I'll watch them back in the morning because I'm trying to go to bed by 8:30 every single night because I get up at 5 a.m. So I can only tape so many, and then there's like if you have too many scheduled. So for some reason my NXT didn't tape because I had 5 other things that were higher than them. So what did I do, Vince? I just typed in on Google right here on my computer and I went, okay, this, and I watched it all in about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Because all the big stuff is on social media. And I didn't feel the need to go back and watch on demand the entire show. I just fast forward for one show.
Coach, it's funny here because I'm doing the math in my head because you just made the statement, I get up at 5 o'clock. Coach, I get up at 5 o'clock. I have a dog that's got to be fed at 5 o'clock. But then you made a statement on the other end, I go to bed at 8:30. Coach, I don't go to bed till after all the games are over on the West Coast and I look at my fantasy baseball team. And sometimes I'll have to stay up till 1 o'clock because of the waiver wire. What are you, a baby with 8.5 hours? What are you, 5 years old, bro? 8:30? That's 8.5 hours of sleep.
Here's why. I watch a lot of, your algorithm, a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, a lot of people who are successful. And there's 2 things that I've taken away from people that are successful is they get 8 hours of sleep every night and they utilize the morning before anybody else gets up to send emails, to work on things. So that's what I do. I get up, I stretch, I do some push-ups, I work out for 30 or 45 minutes while I'm working on the show. And so from 5 to 5:45, that's what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm so far ahead of the game by the time we come on at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Well, when your head hits that pillow at 8:30, you have the ability to fall asleep.
I take a sleep agent. Normally, if it's a day where I have a lot of things going on in my head, that we're a lot of meetings, because right now we have a ton of meetings. A lot of companies are calling us. We're in that transitional stage, I call it. So if my mind's really going, I'll take, you can get them at CVS, like
melatonin and stuff. Okay,
yeah. And they don't give a horrible getting out of bed in the morning, but as far as like sluggish, but it does take me. That's why I lay down and put the TV on. Then I also can't sleep without noise. I got to have noise.
I'm the same way. I got to sleep with the TV on. Yeah.
But I'm offended that you would call me a baby. our relationship just took a turn. It just took a turn.
Producer man on A1 on Monday's show. I want to see baby coach on Monday's show, please.
It's funny. We've already made baby coach. I will bring baby coach out on Monday. He's already made. Okay. All right. The Williams Randall. I was at WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, where the last arena WrestleMania took place, and it sold out in 3 minutes. I don't think we'll see that anymore. That was a super fun one because obviously I was there for that. I like the arena WrestleManias. The problem is, as much as I hate the 2-dayers, I still think WrestleMania should be in a stadium. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And to their point, Vince, if you're not selling it out, and this is where fans that come at us drive me insane, because I try to interact. And so I have a lot of people saying, Coach, it will sell out by game time. Vince, that's not a hot ticket. That is to your point, papering it. Yep. Or they're all going to, and I saw somebody on IG 2 days ago who put out a video, and the headline was, how to afford to go to a WWE show. And then the guy said, this is our hack. And he had a nice edited piece about don't buy your tickets till you're going to the show. He also said in the video, Vince, that they have what they call production holds, where 2 or 3 rows are for celebrities or whatnot, and those are not released until the day of. Right. And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. I've taken advantage of that a couple of times for concerts. That's why I know that's a real thing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I got my tickets for Fluffy last week. I was in the 10th row, front and center, best tickets you could have. Why? the guy at SoFi Stadium was a gigantic wrestling fan.
Yeah, awesome. Man.
So he wanted to, and those were the production holds. So if Flumpy wanted any of his buddies to come like me, they had tickets to give out.
Yeah.
Traffic Jam. Good morning, Coach and Vince. This is the best show to start my day. Thank you. Where's Gunther on WrestleMania 42? Creative is a bunch of goofs. God bless, gentlemen. Vince, I hate to say it, but we were right. We were right. I mean, you can't tell me now, Vince, that after 4 months, let's see, January 13th, February 13th, March, so a little over 3 months, that they utilized ending John Cena's career that way by not using him basically at all.
Coach, I swear, sometimes I think that is such a miss unless they did that on purpose or by design. They're incompetent. There's no other way to put it. That's why sometimes I say to myself, did they do that by design? Because how can you miss? Coach, how can you possibly miss by that much?
Well, it kind of screams you got to have a plan B. That if you're, to me, Gunther, and this is how they position him, not how I think of him, but he's a top 5 guy in the company. How they've treated him the last 5 years. Would that be fair? Would that be fair? Top 5? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you got the whiteboard that we see on Unreal, he's got to be one of the 5 names. And if he's one of those 5 names, Vince, you got to have more than Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, who's now hurt. So the reports are they didn't have a plan B. Vince, how do you not have a plan B for one of your top 5 stars?
Yeah, especially with the roster they have, Coach. There are hundreds of people on that roster.
Wow. I have a feeling that after WrestleMania, you're going to see a big, what do they call it? Clipping of the fat, or what do they call that? Getting rid of the fat.
Yeah.
All right, J-Mac forever. You got a spot on the wheel. Hippo character throwing a blazing uppercut into the air while the word KO appears in the background. What is that?
Mike Tyson Punch Out from the original Nintendo series. That's the Hippo character. Yes.
All right, we do have one that's not a super sticker, but I think it's important. J-Mac says, hey guys, love the show. Just have a quick question. I'll be in Vegas for Mania. I decided to get tickets to JCW as well. Vince,
show.
Will you be at the JCW show in Vegas?
Yes, I will be. Yes, I will be at that show. Yes.
And I guess we should probably put it out there. I had thought about going. Unfortunately, I have a PGA Tour event that I have to do that week.
Yeah, Violent J's got a lot of big names booked on that show, bro. A lot.
Wow.
Matt Riddle's on the show.
Wow.
Nick Nemeth, Anderson, and Gallows are on that show. He's got so many people on that show, top to bottom.
Please tell me he's charging for that show. Please.
Oh yeah, no, I think last he told me they sold about 700 tickets. I think.
Oh, thank God! If they really push those out, that should be an instant sellout, an absolute instant sellout. Alexandra, not Coach, I'm a guy, and my apologies. As I read the whole row, I apologize. My LinkedIn is not as great as the Lady Ritter. I saw she was a boxer. How long until she turned into an on-air character? Don't know who that is. But again, I apologize, and thank you for being a part of what we do. So, Vince, I got not much, but I got crushed a little bit because remember last year they had the roast, and Tony Hinchcliffe was part of the roast. But so this year he's got like a gigantically popular podcast. So they've decided, let's not do the roast, but we'll do him. And you really have to be a fan of his comedy, I think, to enjoy his stuff. Right? So they've announced that he's going to do a show as part of WrestleMania. And now, Vince, they've just announced that on April 20th, it's going to be on Netflix. So they've gone from the roast where they didn't want any of it out, and the same comedian who ran out of the Republican National Convention, he's just not my cup of tea. I don't know him. I don't hate him. I don't like him. Nothing.
They had him on Netflix last night.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's a big deal. There's no talking about it. Okay, now I get it. He's Alexandra was talking about Alexandra, the head of Raw, and her LinkedIn. When his LinkedIn. Oh no. So I just read that because I had breaking news. Who's about a minute behind the show? Can we throw up the latest in the chat, please, producer man? Because Vince is going to lose his mind. So I just gave out the information. And then who just put this in the chat? Producer man, could you put that up? Breaking news. It was breaking news 2 minutes ago, Vince. This is your boy.
Yeah, I know. Of course. Dirty Dan, man.
Part of a double event to go along with. So I got to double check. So hold on. So April 20th, is that a Monday? Vince, it is. So, okay, double D, I take that back. So this is a double event with Raw and then the show with Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, April 20th is
back,
Monday. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what kind of numbers they're going to get on that. I really, really do. All right, we got 3 more, and then we'll get to the roulette wheel, and then we'll get the hell out of Dodge. I got a Sirius XM show to get to. Vince has JCW to get to. Sam Megan, can we get more taking the piss out of Meltzer content, please?
Watch Castrating the Marks, bro.
Yeah, he's got a whole show.
RussosBrand.com, man, every week.
Oh my God. Oh gosh. For some reason, the algorithm, I don't follow anything of him or his posse, but it comes through my algorithm on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my God. If you're gonna do a radio show, Vince, take some pride in it.
Yeah.
A horrible wall behind you, a microphone from 1975, information that most of the time is off. I actually don't mind Alvarez, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He has some pretty good takes.
Yeah. Bro, you know what the funny thing is about it?
What's that?
I'm going to tell you this, Coach, because we do it every single week. Meltz's microphone, on the front of his microphone, there is like this huge piece of jizz. And, bro, all he's got to do, Coach, is turn it. That's all he's got to do, but he doesn't. So every week, this giant piece of jizz is staring you right. Dave, turn the freaking microphone, bro. It's gross.
Oh, my God. And I hope that we have none of our audience pays the $15 still to read that. If you do, stop. Give it to us.
Yeah.
Hell, we'll actually give you the truth. I don't. Can you imagine we just threw stuff against the wall and hoping that it would stick?
Yeah.
Like just, I think this.
And then never, ever admitting we were wrong. Never admitting we were wrong. Never.
No, never. At Dave Rudolph Mel, Wheel. Coach, was there more people at WrestleMania 19 Seattle than 20? Why do you think Vince didn't want WrestleMania 20 in a stadium? Somebody help me out what WrestleMania 20 was. Producer man or dirt sheet. WrestleMania 19 was amazing. That was in Seattle. That was when Vince, they called upon the greatest referee in the history of pro wrestling, me. Because I had to referee the very popular cat fight between Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson and the Miller Lite cat fight girls who were famous for about 15 seconds. And Vince, can I tell you that The Rock never had his own dressing room? Those two girls, to do that, demanded their own dressing room at Safeco Field in Seattle. Demanded.
Tremendous.
Demanded. Yeah. Vince may or may not have promised him like a 2 or 3 show run just to yank the rug out from underneath after WrestleMania, and they lost.
Yeah.
And I had my pants pulled down with whitey tighties on. So there was that. Thank you.
Look, the price of admission right there. Yes.
It really was. A lot of people told me that. A lot of people said, Coach, your ass was worth the price of admission.
Yes.
Catman 580, is Stranglemania going to be streamed online?
It is. I'm not sure if it's going to be live or not, but it is definitely going to be on our YouTube channel. Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. All right. We've got 2 things left. So apparently, the team behind the scenes, and I had forgotten that this even lived, and I'm a little embarrassed, but you just said, Vince, we're nothing if not the truth. Oh no.
Good night,
Oh,
bro.
no.
It's 8:30, bro. It's 8:30. Yes.
Wow. Perfectly bald
Yeah,
head, a
look at that.
perfect 8-month-old goatee. Look how good that
Beautiful,
goatee looks.
beautiful, man.
And you're putting me to bed before you do
Yeah.
your fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
And Vince, so you're a liar, though. You're a
Yeah.
liar.
Why am I a liar, Coach?
Because look, in the background, you're actually watching AEW
Yes.
while you're working and putting me. And you say you don't watch it.
Yeah, and Tony's going, what's he say again? What was it again?
Forever.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. That lives rent-free in my head. And if any of you didn't see us play it on Monday, didn't see us play it on Monday, I can't talk today, you've got to go back and watch it. And this is where if Vince, if you and I are running a wrestling company and you say, hey, I'm going to go out and do this, this is when I say, no, Vince, you are not going to go out and do this.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know, you go back in your mind to school and you had like that 10th grader who wanted to be a part of the cool kids. And they're like, yes, this is what the cool kids do. And you go, well, no, that's not what the cool kids do. Yeah. That's what he comes off as.
Yeah.
You know, that I didn't have friends when I was a kid. So I'm going to have friends now, and they're all called AEW wrestlers and fans.
Coach, I swear to you, at the top of my bucket list for so many years, the very top of my bucket list, I wanted to walk across the Abbey Road, you know, the white stripes, the whole 9 yards, and I did that, and it was freaking awesome. I swear to God, and this is going to happen. The top of my bucket list right now is I want to meet Tony Khan. That is
really
an absolute shoot. I want to meet the dude.
Why?
I just want to have a conversation with Tony. I would mark out having a conversation with Tony Khan. It would be so real to me.
I really want, and I want all of you that are watching right now, tweet out for us because we want Tony Khan on this show.
Oh,
and if
please.
Tony Khan, if he believes in how Vince ran wrestling organizations, he will come on our show. Because Vince ran from nobody. And we would not be mean. It'd be a great conversation.
Why would we be mean? Why would we pick his brain? And Coach, 100%. Who knows? Maybe we would see something his way. Maybe we're missing something.
Absolutely. Right. But until he gets over having heat, and this is, you know, when you think about these things, having heat for the Britt Baker thing, all I said was she wants to go to WWE, and he got pissed off at that. And they called to tell me that. I mean, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know how many times? I mean, and that to me is what I would love to talk to him about, because I would love to help him, because we need AEW to be successful in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
We don't need it to crumble and fail.
Yeah.
But the way he's going, we just don't agree with a lot of the decisions that he makes. I would love for him to come on the show. I really would.
Yeah.
I really would. I don't think he ever would, but would be open to it. By the way, to finish that super sticker, WrestleMania 20 was at MSG. Somebody asked why. You got to understand, that was like a mile marker. It was WrestleMania 20, and Vince, he loves MSG.
Yeah.
It's his home. That's where they do most of their shows. Vince, so you guys know, $200,000 rent just to rent the building. Austin, Texas, $35,000. That shows you the difference in price. Vince would pay it 1,000 times over to do shows there. So to have WrestleMania there, it's just an ego thing for him. He loved the building.
Yeah.
And it does have the best acoustics, and it's just amazing. Just amazing. All right, that is all the super stickers. Any ones that come in after this, we'll read them on Monday. Look at this, Vince. Holy cow.
That is a lot.
That might be our biggest one ever. Might be our biggest one ever. All right, so for all of you who support the show, we want to give back. So, Vince, this is your spot on the show. The floor is yours.
Producer man, spin the wheel.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Who's going to be our lucky winner this week? We're getting very close to having to do 2 every single week. Oh, this is karma.
Wow.
This is karma. Smartest Mark alive.
Barely.
Smartest Mark
Right on
alive.
the line.
Yes. So, Smartest Mark, you know the drill. And this is where we really lose money, Vince, because he lives in Australia. So we have to send it all the way to Australia.
Wow.
But he did send in a picture the last time. So right now, and I believe, producer man, if people use the, I think the code Chamber, you get free shipping. Chamber is free shipping, and Madness is 16% off in honor of the Sweet 16 starting tonight. So Chamber,
Very
free
nice.
shipping, Madness, 16% off. We're just following what WWE does. That's all we're doing. 16% off.
Can you give me a March Madness prediction, Coach?
So I think Arizona is the team to beat. Michigan's very, very good. It's very chalky these days. If people are wanting to bet on it, it's too late to pick. But if you want to bet on it, go with top seeds, put them together for a parlay. Because Vince, there's a lot of big spreads, and what you want to do is just take the team to win, but you got to put them together.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, these number one seeds win every time now because NIL money. These kids are making so much money. So they go where the money is, and those are the best teams.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Vince. Tell the good people tonight, 7 o'clock, JCW. Yes?
Yes, tonight, 7 o'clock, guys. JCW Lunacy on YouTube, 7 o'clock Eastern. Yes.
All right, very, very good. We will be back on Monday, our normal time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, to talk about everything in the world of pro wrestling. We'll see who is the latest fool to spend 11 grand to make pasta in Italy, because I'm sure it'll sell by then. In the meantime, that's going to do it for us, for our entire team, Dirt Sheet Dan, Mikey P, producer man behind the scenes, and, of course, my good buddy Vince Russo. I am the coach. Check out all of our content. Subscribe to our BTT YouTube page. We have 3 different shows: Coach and Bro, The Last Word, and now our newest show, The 2 Count. That's going to do it for us, for the entire team. We'll see you guys on Monday on the one and only Coach and Bro Show. Have a good day.